initiative that we launched was a call for mentors. That's the very first thing the president asked for. He said, we're going to do a bunch of systemic stuff. That takes time. But there is not a young person that you talk to, especially ones that are successful, that doesn't credit that to some caring adult getting in there with them and helping them find a way. Even some that have parents, it's somebody who showed them the way. And so the call has gone out to try and get thousands more people who are going to do just what the pastor said, which is take on a couple more. You don't have to go thousands. Take on a couple more.
One more just very simple thing. I don't know if the pastor would agree with this, but I think we all would. It's okay to let these young men know that they are loved.
Right. Oh, yeah.
We love them. We all love them. I think this combination, we're in an interesting place because you can have a conversation like this and you can talk about apps and economic strategies and data and science and research, but love drives it all. And so we need to let these young men know that they're loved.
Commend you for the honesty on the statement you made earlier about the first approach to young men in the group. And this conversation, it's all
I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, this conversation steered right where we needed it to, which is mentorship. First of all, the men that are my age, 50, in that range,
Yeah.
they owe 2 generations an apology. It's us who redefined what a man was, and we let the young people down. It started around our generation. When we were younger, there's no way that we would give a man a badge of honor who would fight another young man and then pull out a gun. We would say, if you ask us what happened, they had a fight, then the coward, we'd say the opposite, then the coward pulled out the gun and shot him because he couldn't whoop him. All of a sudden, we started giving a man who shoot another man in a conflict, say, oh, he a G, a G. But then when we go home, we describe it differently. We stopped talking about our own pain. As men, we would gather together and talk about our problems. We wouldn't let the kids or the wives see it, but you knew I could talk to you and you could talk to me. Man to man, our mentorship stopped. There was no pass down. This goes all the way back to Africa, tribal. We always sat around. That's how our information was passed around. This is our tradition. So we have to get back to the point where we gather. You know, if you look at NFL players, NBA players, when they retire, they say, you know, what do you miss most? And the first thing they say at the top of the list, I miss the locker room. They missed the locker room because they came in with other men all the time and they had that camaraderie and they could talk. We have to reintroduce mentorship as brothers. This program's My Brother's Keeper. Define that on a very brotherly level. We have to go back to helping one another, talking and setting up mentorship programs where men are mentored. The hurt man don't want to be identified as a hurt man. It's something to a man to say, if I'm hurting, then I'm not strong. But you can't be a good man to your wife or your woman if you're a hurt man. So you need to seek out somebody that you can speak with. And that's where I was saying backstage, I want to see more, not from you personally, but the church has a place in that conversation, not as in salvation. Everybody who's into church, different religions, I can only speak on mine that I know of. And others as well. What I'm saying, I can speak to what I experienced, but what I'm saying is, the church, after it teaches salvation, okay, that's done. Now teach people how to live. Right. After salvation is living, day to day, and we live it with hurt. So we have to spend more time in church talking about how to deal with day-to-day living once you've acquired eternal life.
We could talk about this forever, but that was the drop the mic moment. It is time. It is time for us to wrap this up, but we want to thank the White House. We want to thank BET and also Ebony for addressing this. This is important that we discuss this, and I want you to take this back to your communities. This streamed live, go on the web, show it to people, show it to men in the community so that they will talk to the young men in that community so we can start the whole healing process. Look for these programs that these men are talking about. They're out there. Let's make a difference. Let's take something away from the day. I want to thank all of you for being here. Dr. Ross, Torrey, Hammer, Mr. Shelton, Van Jones. Thanks everybody for being here, and thank you for listening. My name is Kevin Frazier. Take care, everybody.